This is your morning Buzzcast for Tuesday, October 14th. I'm Abe Madcourt. Thanks for listening. So, we have two league championship series taking place in baseball. You have the Mariners taking the first two games from the Blue Jays in Toronto. You have the Dodgers one up over the Brewers. And yes, we've talked about this quite a bit on the Buzzcast, but the National League Championship Series has very interesting storylines, as you have a significant delta in the payroll of these two organizations. The Brewers have a payroll of under $122 million. It ranks about 22nd out of 30 teams. Of the four remaining teams in the playoffs, the Brewers are the only one with a payroll in the bottom half of Major League Baseball. No club with a bottom 10 payroll has won the World Series since the Marlins in 2003. And so, yes, the Brewers are an outlier. They have won 3 consecutive NL Central titles, and they've reached the postseason in 7 of the last 8 years. And remember, they're doing this playing in the country's 39th largest media market. So what about the Dodgers? Well, they have spent more than $350 million on their roster, and you would think leadership at baseball's Players Union will be quietly rooting for the team in Milwaukee, as they are the best argument for the union's claim that payroll size and market size doesn't matter, and that a free market financial model is best for the game of baseball. And if the Dodgers don't win, it shows again that payrolls aren't the problem and a salary cap isn't needed. But, if the Dodgers do win and win big, it could prove MLB and management business claim that hope doesn't exist for many markets, and you need a more equal financial economic system. So a lot to take away from the NLCS. Let's break down the postseason overall. The Dodgers are the defending champs. They're aiming for their third title in 6 years. On the American League side, the Blue Jays, 32 years removed from their last World Series championship. Meanwhile, the Mariners and the Brewers are both eyeing their first World Series title. So a lot of interesting plots in baseball. Let's move on. Big news in Cleveland, as the city of Cleveland and Browns owners Jimmy and Dee Haslam have reached a major deal, which will clear the way for the Browns to relocate to a new $2.5 billion stadium in Brook Park. This ends months of legal and political disputes over the team's plan to leave Cleveland's lakefront. Now, as part of this deal, the Browns will move forward with a dome stadium near Cleveland's airport. In return, the Haslams will help fund $100 million to help demolish the current lakefront stadium and prepare the site for future development. They will also fund other city projects around Cleveland. And so really, this is an amazing deal and payout. The Haslams will pay the city $25 million by this December 1st, and they will follow that up with annual payments through 2033 and future payments of lesser value after that. So, of course, the Haslams will have a say in how the money is spent, but this is an incredible settlement. Cleveland, the city of Cleveland, will drop all pending litigation against the team, and this allows the plan to move forward for the Haslams' vision in Brook Park. It's a big and ambitious vision, yes, a year-round entertainment district, and this will be well north of $1 billion of hotels, retail, restaurants, housing. That's in addition to the $2.4 billion stadium development. So the Browns' goal is to begin play in the new stadium at the start of the 2029 football season. The team plans to break ground early next year. Major development for the city of Cleveland and the Cleveland Browns. You know, this is an interesting week for my colleague, Reginald Walker, to be out of the office because he played at Penn State, played football at Penn State, and I really wish I could hear his point of view after Penn State moved on from James Franklin. Penn State owes Franklin more than $40 million. Yes, it is the second biggest buyout in college football history, behind only Jimbo Fisher's $76 million buyout from Texas A&M. So yes, you are hearing this right. Penn State, in the end, felt James Franklin wasn't going to turn things around, so they will give him nearly $50 million to go away. So yes, the move will cost Penn State at a time when they are investing a lot into the renovation of Beaver Stadium. They'll have to pay his base salary and insurance through 2031. Penn State's AD Pat Kraft, he did not really reveal any details about the buyout, but he did say the athletic department is taking on the full cost and it won't be picked up by the institutional revenue. So the college isn't paying for it. It will be coming out of the athletic department budget. I also found Pat Kraft's comments pretty intriguing, saying the move was about, quote, the modern era of college football. Our next coach needs to be able to maximize elite level resources, attack the transfer portal, and develop at the highest level. We want someone who honors our tradition but isn't afraid to evolve, end quote. So how do I translate that? Translation to me, James Franklin was stuck in his ways and he was not changing. And the bottom line, there will be more and more of these buyouts as more money is poured into college sports and as universities value winning above all else. Shifting to the academic landscape, SBJ this week honors two legendary academics in this week's issue as part of our Honor Roll 2025 program. Yes, we highlight Glenn Wong, whose sports law classes at the University of Massachusetts and Arizona State are legendary. We also honor Rick Burton, who taught sports marketing at the University of Oregon and Syracuse. So let's look at their tips. First, Rick Burton. One of his tips, he would teach from the back of the room to encourage those who sat in the back to more actively engage in the classroom. Rick Burton also shared the following advice with students, quote, learn and then do things you are not presently skilled at doing, end quote. So he has shared that with students for years. He also stressed students grasp 4 economic situations: that we live in a digital economy, 1, a creator economy, 2, a global economy, 3, and a 24/7, 365 economy as number 4. Meanwhile, Glenn Wong, he stressed to his students that they have a 5-year, a 10-year, and a 20-year plan. He told the young people that the decisions they make right now can help them get into a position that can help them or hurt them. Wong stressed that yes, he wanted students to go after their dreams, but he also encouraged them to do it very, very seriously and always have a backup plan. He wanted to make sure the students understood what they were getting into in the sports business, because they were not all going to be general managers or athletic directors. And so that's how he helped shape students for the future. Bottom line is, I hope you will have time to read tributes of these two leaders who have helped so many young people thrive in the sports business. And we'll end with this. We still need more infrastructure around women's sports. That is a major trend you have to keep an eye on. And one organization that is doing that, the Detroit Pistons. There's some real energy around the Pistons, and of course, they are bringing on a WNBA team, and they've unveiled plans for a new headquarters and practice facility for the WNBA team. It'll also include indoor and outdoor youth playing fields. So this is a multi-use complex. It will cost around $50 million. It'll sit on 42 acres. Construction is set to begin in 2027 and be done in time for the 2029 WNBA season. Why do I highlight this? Well, because you need these continued facility investments around infrastructure, around women's sports to continue the momentum in the women's sports space. The Pistons are stepping up with a $50 million investment into a headquarters and practice facility specifically for their W team. Those type of investments, incredibly important. So my 4 takeaways from today's Buzzcast are, number 1, could this MLB postseason be a subtle referendum on payroll and market size? Especially watch the National League, where the Dodgers and the Brewers are the best example. Number 2, you will see more buyouts of college coaches. Penn State will pay James Franklin nearly $50 million over the next 6 years, but these buyouts will continue as more revenue comes into the college sports system and the pressure to win increases. Number 3, the Browns' path to a new dome stadium in Brook Park cleared its last major hurdle. This will be a mega project valued in the billions, and it's the latest new facility under development, expected opening for this facility 2029. And finally, academic leaders shape the lives of so many young people in sports business. This week, SBJ features 2 of the best as we induct Rick Burton and Glenn Wong to SBJ's honor roll. I hope you will take some time and read their stories. And that is your morning Buzzcast for Tuesday, October 14th. I'm Abe Madkour. Thanks for listening. Stay healthy. Be good to each other. I'll speak to you tomorrow.